Welcome back to our channel. Do you think you know the people closest to you? Do you believe that the people you love and trust will never betray you? Be careful. Because the most dangerous person is sometimes not the one standing in the dark, but the one who is always by your side every day. Tomas is a typical example of that, a man who seems perfect. But behind that moral and emotional shell is a dark plot that has been nurtured for months, a cruel revenge plan that no one expected. When all the truth is exposed, the two most important women in his life, Eva and Kat, not only collapse in pain, but also fall into a living nightmare, where all memories and trust are torn to pieces. 4 months. Tomas lived in a perfect shell, a model man, gentle and thoughtful, always making those around him feel secure. Especially Eva and Kat, two women who seemed to hold the most important roles in his life. But behind those calm eyes and sweet words was a world full of darkness, where Tomas silently built a long-term, patient, and calculating revenge plan. No one expected that the person they once trusted the most was the one who was silently controlling their every step. Every breath, like a puppet being pulled by an invisible but cruel hand. Starting with the smallest things, Tomas gradually infiltrated Eva's private life, making her dependent on him both emotionally and financially. He cleverly suggested that she withdraw from relationships that could give her independence. Every time Eva intends to develop her career or expand her relationships, invisible glitches appear that force her back to the starting point, where Tomas is always there, ready to help. In her eyes, he is the ideal companion, but in Tomas's plan, she is just a chess piece, and he always knows how to keep it in the center of the chessboard, so that it cannot leave the control circle. Kat is also not immune to that sophisticated manipulation. Tomas does not approach her with trust, but with guilt. He makes Kat think that she owes him, that without Tomas, her past secrets could be exposed, ruining everything. Gradually, Tomas becomes the lock that holds Kat's mistakes, making her afraid to resist, afraid to escape. Every time Kat tried to step out of that sphere of influence, Tomas would subtly remind her of the old story, as a hidden warning that made her step back. While Eva and Kat seemed to be living their own lives, in reality, their every move was under close surveillance. Tomas had installed discreet tracking tools, from phones to bank accounts, from calls to personal schedules. He knew where they went, who they met, how they spent money and what they thought. The seemingly random things, the unusual coincidences that happened continuously in Eva and Kat's lives, were actually all part of a series of meticulous arrangements that were terrifying. Every new friend, every piece of advice from a stranger, every important financial decision, all were clearly known and manipulated by Tomas from behind the scenes. Tomas's motive was not simply control. It is revenge nourished by past hurts, a pain that has been suppressed for too long and now emerges in a twisted, vicious form. Tomas doesn't want anything back from Eva or Kat, he just wants them to lose everything. Loss of trust, loss of honor, loss of control over their lives. And most importantly, loss of the feeling that they ever knew the man Tomas. The shock comes when an unexpected event cracks Tomas's mask. A misdirected email, a stolen financial record, or just an old name that comes up in a casual conversation. Whatever it is, it's like a match thrown into a powder keg, and the whole truth begins to emerge. Eva collapses when she sees all her personal data, voice recordings, photos, bank logs, systematically stored on Tomas' computer. Kat was stunned to discover that the person who had advised her to abandon a business project was the one who had caused her partner to retreat behind the scenes. Every event had clear evidence. Every decision was guided not by intuition, but by manipulation. The psychological earthquake was intense. Eva saw Tomas no longer as the person who loved her, but as a stranger with a familiar face. Kat no longer felt guilty, but felt betrayed to the core. Both realized that everything they had believed in, bet on, was just an illusion created by Tomas. Every tear, every moment of weakness, had been used to build the invisible cage they had been trapped in for months. Tomas shows no remorse. When the truth is revealed, he remains frighteningly calm, as if it were all part of a pre-planned plan. He looks at Eva and Kat's breakup not with remorse, but with the cold eyes of someone who has completed his revenge mission. He knows that nothing is more painful than being betrayed by the person you once trusted the most, and he has succeeded in spreading that pain to two women who once loved him. However, the consequences do not simply stop there. What Tomas did not only destroy two lives, but also ignited a chain reaction. Eva, after the shock, is no longer the weak person she was before. She begins to investigate further, determined to expose the entire network that Tomas has worked so hard to build. Kat, from victim to unwilling companion in the journey to expose the manipulator. They no longer shed tears, no longer fear, but begin to counterattack with the same silence and caution that Tomas used to control them. While Tomas thought he had won, Eva and Kat's retaliation silently began. A new game was set up, this time, no longer a one-sided manipulation, but a battle between three people who were once close, now becoming each other's most dangerous opponents. Tomas still doesn't know that other secrets of his are also starting to be dug up. The mistakes of the past, the illicit connections, the accomplices who helped him manipulate Eva and Kat, are now gradually revealed. The trap he has set all this time is closing, but not to imprison the two women, but himself. The nightmare does not end with being discovered, but with being punished for every single thing he has done. Tomas begins to notice the disappearance of those who once supported him. Financial accounts are gradually frozen, emails go unanswered, appointments are cancelled without reason. He is losing control, something he has never been used to. Eva and Kat do not speak out, do not publicly denounce, but they are gradually destroying Tomas' greatest weapon, absolute control. Tomas's downfall does not come from a loud collapse, but from each small crack. Each detail stripped away, each moment of isolation. He no longer trusts anyone, no longer controls anything, and begins to get lost in the maze he created for others. In a world where he used to be the one holding the strings, now, he is the puppet being pulled along by Eva and Kat's every move. And this is only the beginning of the real nightmare. What Tomas did, now will be returned little by little. Who is in control? Who is being controlled? The psychological battle between these three people will continue, but this time, the one who manipulated becomes the prey. Don't miss the next developments. Follow and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the terrifying secrets hidden behind the mask named Tomas.